Pitching outside leg, go back to on-field umpire, please.
Well, the ball is ragging square at the moment, which makes it quite difficult to get an LBW. If you're a spinner, unless one skids on to the pads. Tom Banton's faced 3 deliveries, 2 of them absolute jackers.
At the end of 9th over, 82 for 2, another bowling change. Jonathan Solanka has picked up quite a few wickets in this LPL. Decent off spinner, starts off with the arm delivery.
Open bowling of Solanka, this is his 2nd over. And it's just skidding on to Kusal Pereira. He's got to watch out here.
But this is what he does. Lower trajectory, coming low, skidding it through, not going to give any air. Kusal Pereira, it's not short at all. Slightest of mistake, very lucky there, KJP. So just see what sort of a tactic Colombo Stars going to use. With Angelo Matthews, Dinesh Chandimal, Sivu Prasanna, all these hitters coming down the order. The foundation has to be laid by these 2 batters. Why I say that, Angelo Matthews, we all know, is hampered to run. And Sivu Prasanna and Chandimal have been in magnificent form. So where does Angelo Matthews fit in? That's a question that a lot of people must want to ask.
Last 5 overs. This is not the situation for him to come out to bat because lots of singles be required to put a decent total on the board. Look like a bit of movement behind the side screen.
Sent back by Banton, Kusal Pereira. He was keen for a single. Another bad throw. No overthrow in this case, though. And your point, Maha, about Matthews, this is the problem with Colombo Stars. They've got a lot of openers in their side. He's one of the few guys who can bat in the middle order, but only when he's fit. Again, confusion between Banton and Kusal Pereira. Banton could be gone here. This is going upstairs.
One of the situation is dot deliveries. They do bring pressure on the batter.
Show me one more time, please. Yes, I am satisfied. My decision to the
Huge miscommunication. Let Tom Banton be run out. Lots of teams in the middle overs have choked. It's Colombo Stars choking under pressure. Tom Banton gone for 2, Stars 84 for 3.
Good crowd in today, Friday night. A lot of Colombo Stars fans in. Still no signs of Angelo Matthews. Dennis Chandimal, the new batsman, with work to do. 10 overs, 84 for 3.
bit of a jolt for the Stars, but they're still all right. 84 for 3 in 10. Pereira and Chandimal, the two batsmen at the wicket. Chandimal has been in very good form. Kusal Pereira just finding his feet in this tournament, hasn't been amongst the runs. Banton pretty unfortunate, that was a terrible mix-up. Not Kusal Pereira called for it, yes he did. And then Tom Banton, for the first time in his T20 career, he's run out. How lucky was that, Russell?
Not for the first time. Hesitation out in the middle. Now he'll have to put that behind him, that's what matters. What you do next, and that's build a partnership with Chandimal.
This is good running, good understanding.
This is called Soul Down the River. Yes, no, oops, sorry. My apologies.
He's had a tough time, Tom Banton, trying to get amongst the runs, open the batting. They moved him now to the middle order. He really would have liked a decent hit, not get out like that. But the partnership is crucial because we've seen games change. In the middle overs, wickets fall, and advantageous positions have been thrown away. These two take it to the 14th, 15th, get to about 110, 120, then you launch. Take no chances.
The rate of scoring is good. Over 8 runs and over at the moment. Reverse! 6! Kusal Pereira has picked the right opportunity, the right day to strike form. It's a critical game for the Colombo Stars, and he's coming good.
What a shot this is, hitting with the spin. The length is right for him to play it.
Now, mind you, for those who know, Kusal Pereira, till his mid-teens, was a right-hander. Modeled his game on Sanath Jayasuriya and became a left-hander. So amazing power. That initial instinct of being a right-hander would be with him.
What is more amazing is being born a right-hander and being a right-hander, you become a left-hander and do what he's doing. As a right-hander, you can understand that.
Look at those forearms. There's a lot of power there.
But succeed as a left-hander, something that is adopted at the highest level. That's an amazing thing. Running the first run hard. They're coming back for 2. This is very good running. Very, very good running. The Colombo Stars are enjoying themselves. 12 of that over. 96 for 3. Just 30 balls, 5 fours, 2 sixes. Chandimal just warming up, looking ominous for the Warriors in a must-win game. They had the opportunity, they won the toss, they decided to bowl, willing to chase a target. Just goes past the outside edge. He goes slow, medium cutters, can be useful on this track.
Hasn't found a regular spot. Dibbly dobblies, off breaks. He was brought in for the last game but didn't get the ball or bat. But at the right time, Kusal Pereira has woken up for the Colombo Stars.
Save. falling in no man's land. Robert Green has been going Colombo Stars' way. Dhananjay De Silva was living dangerously. Kusal Pereira playing a few airy-fairy shots. One for our proud sponsors, partners, Munchie, Sri Lanka's #1 brand of biscuits, being exported to over 65 countries.
Punched.
That's his 50. They'll come back for 2 again. This is brilliant running. It's a welcome half century. Welcome back to form to Kusal Pereira.
Yeah, look, the innings has been a great one. I like the shot to bring up the 50. Hitting with the spin, just a conventional shot. Finds the gap in the outfield, runs for 2. We saw so much in the previous games. Batters trying to find that short boundary over and over again and forgetting about there's other ways to score runs on a surface like this.
The ball can spin, can be slow, but you somehow have to grind your way to some runs, and as you said, find a way. That could be just kicking it to space. And a 140, 135, 140 is gettable if you're clever. That type of thought process and planning should come into your game. And we've seen enough for players to sit back and come up with that plan.
And he will have to bat really well at the moment. Stars are looking good. In the 12th over, they've got the 100. They're set on scoring something big. This is good running again. Brilliant running, dropping and running. Identifying the fielders. That's the key. They did see Kenna Lewis not the quickest.
Didn't hit it too hard. But then again, look at the urgency. It's only the 12th over. Why I'm highlighting that is in the previous game, the Kings were chasing. And until the 16th, 17th over, there was no intensity in the running. They were ambling through. Even earlier, that energy helps. Now more energy. Fielder in the deep. Watches it go by because it was hit that hard. 106 for 3.
6 for 3. Kusal Pereira is going berserk at the R. Premadasa Stadium, and those buildings are consistently coming up. Power plays were good. And those red blocks are also looking threatening. Of course, those 2 dots have stifled them a bit. Right, gentlemen, question for both of you. In hindsight, captain had the option of winning, field captain had the option of batting. And seeing the surface, well, we'll watch this and then talk about it. This was that boundary. I thought was attempting a leg break, and he went with the movement.
And Pereira is in that type of form that he's picking it. These are his shots. These are his zones. He normally scores runs in.
You reckon? Should have batted first in hindsight, considering the way the surface has played? That's the question to both of you. Well, the National Lotteries Board of Sri Lanka, a state-owned enterprise and a multi-billion rupee giant, NLB contributes to the development of Sri Lanka in a greater scale and raises funds for agriculture, health, sports and other various sectors. They're in a great play in the Sri Lankan economy. Right, I'm waiting for your thoughts after this ball.
I understand why he went out and fielded. Yes, straight after the toss, it started raining a little bit. I don't think the decision was influenced by the rain. I think it's a fact that the 2 games the Kandy Warriors have won was chasing. They don't have a strong bowling lineup and they've let themselves down at the depth. in a few games. So I think that was the influence. Okay, this is what has worked for us. Let's contain the opposition, get our weaker suit out of the way, and then try and chase it down.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that also they would have looked at it thinking, well, if we've got to chase, we're not going to chase something big because of the surface. And we have players like Papara. This should be out, and it's the end of a very fine innings.
That's the longer side of the boundary. Charita Salanka, the fieldsman. But great relief for the Warriors. Look at the reaction.
He cracked it. And not for the first time, we see a long hop get a wicket. Caught at the mid-wicket. Charita Salanka making no mistake this time, but he's found form at the right time for his team. Kusal Perera has put them in a strong position. He's 58 of 38. They are 109 for 4, the Stars.
Batsman, Colombo Stars have quite a few power hitters. Slip in for the right-hander. They find some grip and turn.
Here's an opportunity to get a few dots in. Perera. Long hop is just trying to keep it down by rolling his wrists. I think that's what was his downfall.
That turn square. This is what a wicket could do. 109 for 4. Matthews, the Prasanna, take away. It turned out to be a match winner the other day in that critical game. Vimukti coming on at the other end. 109 for 4. Now they got Matthews scheduled to come in next day. It's also Prasanna. Where do you think Matthews would actually be looking to bat? Well, we'll come to that after this, because this is a very important part of the entire Lanka Premier League. Dettol has been the go-to brand for everybody. Spectators, umpires, players, commentators, everybody.
In for his last over, Vimukti. Well, I prefer this batting order a lot more, because Kusal Perera at the top of the order, we all know what he can do. Dhananjay De Silva at 3, and the fact that Chandimal has come ahead of Matthews also makes sense, because he's been in great form, and you want to give him a decent number of balls to maybe try and maximize that. We know Matthews is restricted in running between the wickets. That can have an effect on his partners. So I'm not too sure. If these two get to about the 15th, 16th, maybe even Sikuge Prasanna. Play Matthews the way it comes.
Big shot coming now, boys. Big shot coming now, boys. Come on.
Full toss. Oh, he's lucky. He's very lucky. Vimukti, that is. Had that been in the gap, it was 4 all over it.
both Stars are just, they find themselves in a very good position here. 111 for 4. I don't feel that they need, as Russell pointed out earlier, you don't want to be saying, well, let's go and try and get 180 and then you end up getting bowled out for 150. He said, you just play normally, keep accumulating, finding the odd boundary, and then the acceleration in the last 2 or 3 overs.
Running one, they're running hard. Will they come back for 2? They're coming back for 2. Brilliant running. In the process, look what's happened to Paul Paul.
Yeah, they're pushing it, but a direct hit might have had Paul walking back.
Great intent, really great intent. That's the key here.
I also feel that that little bit of rain we had just at the toss has spiced things up. There's a bit of moisture around the ball, sliding on a little more. Angelo Pereira has a towel with him, Vimukti has a towel with him. They're constantly drying that ball, and that's the difference. It's turned out to be a little better surface than the earlier game because of that moisture.
Well, chasing might be okay then. He thinks the like of Kennard Lewis, who likes to hit through the line. If there isn't any turn at the top, he could get them off to the flyer that they may need. But the first over here did turn, but as you mentioned, the ball hadn't really gone over the outfield as yet.
Take your point. Antigua need a lot of wings when they bat facing this target, just like Red Bull. In our energy partner. Last ball of the over. Gone. Oh! On the second attempt. Very nearly bubbling out of Angelo Pereira's hand.
The sound of that we heard was not goody for me. He asked for it straight away.
Umpire to director. We have a player review for fourth. Original decision is out. Give me the front foot first, please. Fair delivery. Give me the front on spin mission. It's very fair. Okay. My decision is out. Repeat, out.
I think there was a lot of wood there, Russell.
Yes, there is, but where Paul gets confused is the bat hits his boot. That's the sound we heard on the stump mic. So he wouldn't have felt it. He's gone for 114 for 5.
We've been talking about at which point Angelo Matthews will enter the scene. Here he is. Best of 81, 10 half centuries. He's a great finisher, Angelo Matthews. Has been plagued a bit by injury, hasn't been figuring too much in this format. But when he did, he was an excellent finisher. To goal his medium pace. He's got wickets for Sri Lanka, won games as a bowler as well besides his batting. For number 15, it's going to be the leg spinner.
Vimukti finished with 3 for 24. And look at what happens. That bat hits the boot. And it all happens at the same time. That's where Paul wouldn't have felt the edge, because there's a bit of jarring. And also explains the noise I heard, Roshan, before you say something to me.
I I know that's what you're really trying to make. It's not about proving the point that it was hitting the boot. You're just trying to justify your statement. It's well taken, don't worry.
You just wonder whether the non-strikers should have said to him, look, it's hit your outside edge. I know you may not have felt anything, but it's gone straight off the outside edge to slip. How does Angelo Pereira manage his fielders with someone who is restricted for running now, particularly inside the 30-yard circle?
Right, he's away, Angelo Matthews. Just a single.
Cover the angles, work the angles as much as possible rather than creeping in, because there's not going to be any drop and runs. It's more the proper shots that Angelo Matthews can play needs to be covered.
You know that Angelo Matthews is not fond of running or not able to move as swiftly as he would like.
Yeah, I'm going to watch closely here to see how this affects the way Dinesh Chandimal plays.
Yeah, the one that he'll drop, he might not try to push.
They're quite happy to take that single, just ambling across. So it might be, the plan will be for sixers and fours, boundaries. That will be the way Angelo Matthews will be looking to try and aim. Right, so they've got 4 singles. Stars still in a very solid position, 118 for 5, and they're into the last 5 overs of the innings.
Hey guys, Lewis Gregory here. Really excited to be playing for Karachi Kings in PSL 7. Looking forward to getting out to Pakistan with some of the best fans in the world. Hopefully we can lift the trophy and catch you all soon.
E-sports अलग है, बाकी हर स्पोर्ट्स चैनल से अलग। बाकी सब खेल दिखाते हैं, पर हम सिर्फ खेल नहीं, ख्वाब दिखाते हैं। ख्वाब देखने की हिम्मत दिलाते हैं और फिर ख्वाबों को सच कर दिखाते हैं। हम पाकिस्तान के हर छोटे बड़े शहर से, गांव से, देहात से खिलाड़ी चुन चुन के लाएंगे। अपने लोकल टैलेंट को ओलंपिक्स में ले जाएंगे, क्योंकि हम ला रहे हैं एस गेम्स, एक नई उड़ान, एक नई पहचान। कमिंग सून ओनली ऑन ए स्पोर्ट्स।
Premier League 2021. Watch live on A Sports, Pakistan's first HD sports channel. Supported by Coca-Cola.
Hey guys, Chris Jordan here. Really looking forward and excited to be playing for Karachi Kings once more. Played for the franchise a couple of years ago and had so much fun, so looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care, stay safe, let's go Karachi.
The Colombo Stars got off to an absolute flyer thanks to Kusal Pereira and Dhananjaya de Silva. They were 80 for 1 off 8 overs and now 118 for 5 off 15. So 38 for 4 off the last 7. But still in a strong position here. Despite no boundary in the last 18 balls, they can get up to about 160, Darren. Do you feel that's still a very good score on this pitch?
They'll do well to get to that total. Must say that the Warriors, they pulled things back nicely. Just allowing a runner ball in the last 5 overs or so, picking up 2 important wickets. The set batsman being dismissed. Now 2 new players at the crease. Chandimal with a lead start. Angelo Matthews, only 2 from 2.
Indy Mendes back into the attack, the ambidextrous spinner, bowling his 3rd over. Tikuge Prasanna still to come for the Colombo Stars. I hope that these 2 can stick it out there for a few more overs. 8 bowlers used so far by Angelo Pereira. Vimucti the only one who's bowled out.
That's a headache to have as a captain, I tell you that.
The round on there. Indy Mendes. Sometimes you can have too many options.
Too many options, just as bad as not many. Oftentimes as a captain you're wondering which option to choose in the circumstances. Good crowd in, nice to see. It's the spirit, that's the energy required for T20 cricket. And so far we have a game on our hands.
We certainly do. Never really thought that the Colombo Stars were going to run away with this despite their really good start, because it's proved to be difficult to score in the middle overs. Probably the biggest crowd that we've had so far in this tournament. Friday night, Colombo Stars playing for their lives. Absolutely perfectly set up this final game.
Friday night for sure. Something that the entire Sri Lanka look forward to, especially the guys in the bubble. Saying that, Kamida Mendes done a decent job. The question is, DG, Darren Ganga, Angelo Matthews not so comfortable running the second one hard. Dinesh Chandimal on the other way around, loves to run for the second one. She want to show the energy, the intent. The game plan got to be changed according to the situation and the individuals in the middle.
Could have sent Tikuge Prasanna out ahead of Matthews, but Skipper deciding that he's going to come in. He is in good form in a long ball as well, just like Prasanna. So just 5 singles off that over. 16 gone, 123 for 5.
Colombo Stars in the last 30 balls, losing 2 wickets and just scoring 27 runs. Momentum initially taken up by Kusal Pereira and Dhananjaya de Silva, slightly drifting towards the Warriors. Follow wickets, 1 big building. 4th over since then, it's been steady ship for the Warriors, and then suddenly all of a sudden 2 wickets have fallen on the 9th and 10th, and then the 13th and 14th, hampering their run rate. The Warriors fighting back to be in the game and try and restrict the Warriors for a substantial amount to chase down.
Mostly spin so far. Shiraz coming back on for his 2nd over. We've seen prodigious turn as well. Bit of rain just juiced up the pitch during the toss, and then has helped perhaps the batsmen. It's skidded on a little bit. There's still plenty of turn. We saw turn in the first game as well. Seam so far has been expensive. Shiraz's first over went for 17. Alamin's been expensive as well. This could be a big over this in the context of this innings.
Well, Angelo Matthews will know about the momentum swings in an innings. He's just come in when his team has just lost a couple of wickets. He's got the maturity to understand that it needs to take some time to get himself set before he can really tee off. That is exactly what himself and Chandimal are setting themselves up for. What is the opportune time for us to start going big? Search for more boundaries than singles and twos.
Throws his hands at that and connects, does Dinesh Chandimal.
Man in form. What a shot of extra cover. Very strong through there. And Shiraz Ahmed, the cardinal error, with so much width and the length, perfect. And the batsman is trying to hit big. Exactly what they're looking for. Put away easily by Dinesh.
So dangerous because he's not a one-dimensional player. He only look to hit a leg if he's trying to get boundaries, goes offside. We've seen that in previous innings from Dinesh Chandimal. This might just be the boundary required to ignite the far paw, the explosion at the back end of the innings. As you did see in the first 6 overs, they went at 10 runs over. So if they get that from here on in, easily get them to that 160 marker.
Psychologically 160 in these conditions. Just feel Colombo Stars are far ahead.
Well, the reason Colombo Stars are in a good position is because Kusal Pereira made full use of the power play and beyond. Restored to the opening position. He batted at number 5 in the previous game. And he was back towards somewhere close to his best. Cutting and pulling with real power. He even played a reverse sweep. 58 of 38 balls. Performed just when they needed him. He's had a very poor tournament. But today was a different kettle of fish. That's a wide.
Rub salt into the wound. Kusal Pereira captained the Kandy franchise last year. Player innings in that sort, in a crunch game, just goes to show man's mentality, especially in the last few months. He's not been among runs even during the World Cup. This LPL got hit in the knee, couldn't play a couple of games, and coming back, it mattered the most for the Colombo Stars, the man in reverse.
The lights are out. Many of them around, dotted around the stadium. Good atmosphere, and that's a good shot. He's dug out that wide Yorker, but well-positioned man on the boundary. They just changed the field, actually. Third man had come up, and they put someone out on the boundary, Gunaratne, round about sort of gully line. That's exactly where the ball went.
If you're facing Shiraz, expect it to be full, either full, straight attacking, or full wide, no more defensive. Be prepared for that type of delivery when facing him. One thing that Angelo Matthews will know is Kenal Lewis and the power he packs in the power play. So you want to give yourself a little buffer in terms of that target score that you set for the Warriors.
They might have bowled that one again, and Matthews has flipped it away for 4 as well. It was almost self-preservation. That was going to hit him, and it's going to be a free hit as well. This could be an expensive over.
Shiraz having a day off, a day to forget. Preeti Bandar, easy call there. Angelo Matthews did really well to put that away for a boundary and a free hit to come. Just not what the Warriors needed, and just exactly what the Stars want.
Indian's apology. Very good sportsmanship from Shiraz Ahmed.
All right, Maha, what are you bowling here for your Shiraz? Free hit.
2 options: slow ball outside the off stump, or outside the off stump Yorker.
Went for the Yorker, didn't quite get it, but it was a low full toss that's been dragged to long on, so no real damage there. Still 1 ball left in the over though. 52 here. Will Matthews come back? Yes, he does. Throw to his end, but it's a wild throw. Gingerly gets there. And that's a good over for the Colombo Stars. 15 off it, 138 for 5 with 3 overs to go.
Full marks there for Angelo Matthews, coming back as fast as he could to be on strike. Dinesh Chandimal pushing Angelo. 100% marks with the commitment shown. Tino is gone, 138 for 5. Kusal Perera, firepower, 58 of 38. Dhananjay De Silva, classy knock of 40. 28. Chandimal batting very nicely, setting up the last 3 overs to go big. 21 of 20. And Matthews batting well as well. And got the man who couldn't play the last game, C.K. Prasanna, coming into this game with the form of scoring 32 of 6 deliveries. Easy game.
Three overs to come. Chandimal 21 not out and set. Matthews is getting going as well, 11 off 8, and the power of Prasanna still to come. Colombo could be on for a match-winning score here if they get it right in the last 3 overs, and if they do that, they'll be able to snack on some more Munchie Kome down in Hambantota. All the snacks will be coming with us. We'll be bringing them up to the commentary box as well, keeping them away from Roshan Abeysinga.
Big decisions for Angelo Pereira, where the bowlers will be bowling the last 3 overs. There are quite a few options. You're thinking about Amindo Mendes. You might also think about a seam option. You never know. One thing for sure, these two at the crease, Chandimal and Matthews, they'll be thinking boundaries. What's the maximum can they get from these 18 deliveries? Still C.K. Prasanna. So his quick fire 30 in just 6 balls.
Balled away by Matthews for another boundary. It's a bad start to the over by Alamin Hossain. Seam is going the distance here.
Not the length again. He was critical of the first toe he bowled as well, pitching it short. This time Angelo Matthews helping around, squaring up. It's not the line or the length to bowl. Slow ball. Angelo Matthews very good in those strokes when it comes to the hitting positions. I just think tactically Colombo Warriors could do much better than this.
Well, stats-wise, when you look at what teams have scored in the last 5 overs, Colombo Stars, they're at the top. In terms of what they average, they go at about 11-12 runs in the last 5 overs.
Mid-off is up, goes up and over. That is smart batting from Angelo Matthews, it really is.
And this time over mid-off was up. Looks like Alamin Hossain went for another leg cutter, and keeping his shape and going over long off is brilliant, absolutely brilliant by the Colombo Stars captain.
Dinesh Chandimal, Angelo Matthews, putting pressure on this Warriors team. Pressure on this man, Angelo Pereira. One thing as a captain, when you're playing T20 cricket, you've got to start with the end in mind. Know exactly who are the bowlers you would close the innings out with.
And that's where Bruno Fernandes has been missed, who's injured.
Well, Angelo Pereira didn't look very happy there with Alamin Hossain. That was not what he wanted. Look, he still looks disappointed there, head going down. He did not want him to bowl anything up there that Angelo Matthews could hit over the top of either cover or mid-off. That wasn't how the field was set. This is now the highest score on this pitch, 147 for 5, first innings score. Beating Candy's 146 against Colombo. That's well bowled, that's slower ball, leg cutter.
Much better length, much better length. Doing some reps as well. The leg cutter, it's important to bowl the slow ball, to bowl it into the pitch. And that's exactly what Alamin Hossain did, and Dinesh Chandimal this time was going for a huge hike over long on. Captain Angelo Pereira saying, keep it there, keep it there.
Didn't quite go where Chandimal wanted that to go.
But he's such a good player, Dinesh Chandimal. Edition 1 of LPL, he was quite good for his team. So too in Season 2. Right of screen, an average of 50, a strike rate of 145, even superior to his first year performances.
Now, could be 2 again. Matthews is going to have to come back.
That's last season Dinesh Chandimal opened batting, and this year he was batting in the middle order. That's the biggest difference for me. End of the 18 Stars, 150 for 5.
Colombo Stars batting today has been no joke. They've been determined. 150 for 5 of 18 overs. We need more of that in the crowd, I think.
With the restrictions, this is what we get. At the time everything goes normal, sure, Mary, there will be plenty of more.
Before you played for Sri Lanka, you hear the crowd just like those supporting Sri Lanka's cricket.
I hail from this area, Darren. I don't think any match I've missed when I was a schoolboy. And even I was attended matches as a ball boy as well. I started my career at Kettaram Cricket Academy, was just behind. So Colombo 10, got a big place in my heart.
Next time we come here, we're out of the bubble. You can show us around Colombo 10 Maha. Looking forward to that. What an atmosphere it is in the ground today. It really is. Slight issue for Shiraz there. It's his ankle, his cramp, something like that.
And Maruf, you made a good point about Dinesh Chandimal and the role that he's playing for Colombo Stars this year, batting in the middle, finishing the innings, so to speak, for the Stars. Yet again, 22 from 23, and he's searching for boundaries. But it's in conditions that are a little more challenging. That's why his performances this season, you would say, special, greater than last year.
Even greater and special because of this year's season, the ball turned much than the last year's season at Hambang Total. And Dinesh last year was opening the batting, and was hitting it all over the park to start with. As you said, different roles, opening the batting at number 6, doing the finisher's role, and leading up to this tournament was in that good form. Playing for the team, playing as a finisher, whereas last year he was completely different when he came to open the batting.
Pulled away for 6. Dinesh Chandimal has been scoring quickly during this LPL. That's been a big difference, and he's hit a few maximums.
Just like the old Chandimal we know about. When he started to play first-class cricket, this is what we saw about him. Hitting in all angles. You mentioned a good point, what one dimension. He covers the entire 360 degrees. And this time, Mohammad Shiraz having a day to forget.
Things not going right for Shiraz Ahmed. Not nailing his Yorkers, hitting the prize over pitch deliveries, and then went short. Being smacked away. Everyone is jumping and dancing because the Stars, they're glittering tonight.
That's going to be a wide. Shiraz has not been at his best. He's had a good tournament, but today it's not working for him. None for 40 of 2.5 overs. These are really valuable runs for the Colombo Stars coming off Shiraz's bowling. Angelo Pereira won't be happy with the way that his seam bowlers have gone about their business today. Much better from Shiraz Ahmed. But Dinesh Chandimal just going on his merry way. He's now the leading run scorer in the LPL for this season. 260 runs, strike rate 146. He's ahead of Phil Salt, 247, TKC 220. Michel Mendes, the other man, over 200, and Tissera 158. Strike rate just the 202.
Surely reinforcing his class as a frontline batsman for Sri Lanka. He played in that World Cup team for Sri Lanka, then he was left out for a few games, so coming into form will add to the stock of Sri Lanka's cricket.
Matthews is running his twos at the moment. That will please the side. I think if someone was fully fit, they would have made that a very easy two. He's just limping between the wickets.
Evidently, he looks much more quicker than the previous games. Like he's recovering well. That's good news for the Stars, in case if the Stars goes through playing in the playoffs in Hambantota.
It's the final over that Shiraz will bowl tonight, an important one. And he finished strong. No! Picked up by Angelo Matthews. One bounce. That's the 50 partnership. Stars are flying at the moment, 166 for 5.
Angelo Matthews picking up a show for us. It's Dinesh Chandimal, got 52 of 33 deliveries. Now these two senior players for Colombo Stars. 166 for 5. We spoke about 160 being the pass score in a night game. And it's a captain's nightmare with the bowler is spraying both the sides of the wicket. And Angelo Pereira got so much in his plate. And that's why he has used 8 bowlers. And whoever is coming, it's gone France, it looks like. Al-Amin to finish off.
A set Angelo Matthews is always a difficult and worrying proposition if you're a bowler, especially at the back end of a T20 innings. Goes about his work of scoring runs with ease. Always looks like he has a lot of time on the ball.
Not there the offers so far for Angelo Pereira and Shiraz. Still got a bat, of course. We could do with this last over, not going for too many.
Who's striking it well? Angelo Matthews. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of a length and line Alam Nason is going to go. Left side bound is the longest boundary, maybe short the body, or else a Yorker towards the leg side trying to get him into the long area.
Bowled him. You miss, I hit. And crucially, it's a wicket and a dot ball.
And a 53-run partnership being broken here. Angelo Matthews, who was searching to hit this delivery out the park. It was that length that finished on the top of off. Al-Amin nails it, gets the length right, deceives Angelo Matthews, the captain of the Colombo Stars, but he's done a really good job already. He goes for 29, 167 for 6.
Sikuge Prasanna is in and immediately finding the middle of the bat, straight to mid-off. Here's the end of Angelo Matthews, again rolling his fingers across the ball. A bit early on the ball, Angelo Matthews, but he's done his job. 29 of 16 on one leg, not too bad. Oh, that's a beauty of a shot, that one. Perfect timing. Heaved away by Chandimal. Just enough. Despairing dive from Ravi Bopara.
Flies away for 6. Ravi Bopara was trying to do the impossible. Got a bit of hand onto it, but it was already over the line. This is how good Dinesh Chandimal is. Uses the pace. He's always trying to hit it behind square. And it goes all the way.
So, the Stars have 174. The Kandy Warriors' highest score this tournament, 170 against Dambulla Giants. They're going to have to play their best innings to chase this down now. And again, that's another 4 for Dinesh Chandimal. Not a good last over so far.
Not a good last few overs, got to be said. Angelo Pereira, hands on his head moment. Crowd loving it. Most of them are supporting the Stars and Al-Amin Hussain. Just feel they lost the plot. Pull into his field. The previous ball was a quicker bouncer, time to bowl, and this time it's a slow ball bouncer, but still the line was too straight. When you have a fine leg up, 30-yard ring, you cannot bowl that line. Compares captain's nightmare. Darren, you have captained many teams.
They look stunned. They still got to lift their body language and know that this game is far from over.
Same again. Can you believe it? Short, slower ball, down leg side. Exactly what Chandimal would have wanted. This time he goes on the inside of the man as short, fine leg. 6-4-4 to finish. The Stars are up to 182 for 6. That seems a big score on this pitch.
Massive score. Massive score. Last 5 overs, 64 runs. In these conditions, that's lots of runs. Stars putting to bat. Just what the doctor ordered. And Dinesh Chandimal, as he did the entire LPL this year, finishing up for the Stars. Yeah, that shows the grit. That shows the determination. Exactly what the Colombo Stars wanted as a finish.
Well, not only did they strike boundaries with regularity, 24s and 4-6s, they also didn't consume a lot of dots. Just 37 dots in the innings. Maybe the ideal balance, the best we've seen from a team in this tournament. On a pitch that is not so easy for batting. But the Stars, they've done a really good job in a must-win situation. They've held their nerves. They got off to a very good start with that innings from Kusal Perera, his 58 from 38. Then he paved the way for the likes of Dhananjaya De Silva, Dinesh Chandimal, and even Angelo Matthews chipped in with 29.
And bowling for the Kandy Warriors started off well by Vimukti picking up Ashant Pyanjan's wicket in the first over itself, and then fast bowler Shiraz Al-Amin going 15 and 13 each, just not good enough. As the overseas pro, you expect much more. Kamida Mendes had a decent day. Charith Asalanka just bowled a couple of overs for 4 runs. So overall, a disappointing bowling performance by the Kandy Warriors.
The Colombo Stars have made their highest score of the tournament just when it mattered, 182 for 6. It means the Kandy Warriors need 183 to make it to the playoffs. They're going to have to bat really well. The live action coming up.
Hey guys, Chris Jordan here. Really looking forward and excited to be playing for Karachi Kings once more. Played for the franchise a couple of years ago and had so much fun, so looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care, stay safe, let's go Karachi.
ए स्पोर्ट अलग है बाकी हर स्पोर्ट्स चैनल से अलग। बाकी सब खेल दिखाते हैं पर हम सिर्फ खेल नहीं ख्वाब दिखाते हैं। ख्वाब देखने की हिम्मत दिलाते हैं और फिर ख्वाबों को सच कर दिखाते हैं। हम पाकिस्तान के हर छोटे बड़े शहर से, गांव से, देहात से खिलाड़ी चुन चुन के लाएंगे। अपने लोकल टैलेंट को ओलंपिक्स में ले जाएंगे क्योंकि हम ला रहे हैं एस गेम्स, एक नई उड़ान, एक नई पहचान। कमिंग सून ओनली ऑन ए स्पोर्ट्स।
Premier League 2021.
Watch live on A Sports, Pakistan's first HD sports channel. Supported by Coca-Cola.
Hey guys, Lewis Gregory here. Really excited to be playing for Karachi Kings in PSL 7. Looking forward to getting out to Pakistan with some of the best fans in the world. Hopefully we can lift the trophy and catch you all soon.
Premier League 2021.
Watch live on A Sports, Pakistan's first HD sports channel. Supported by Coca-Cola.
The Colombo Stars. Well, when it really matters, that's when the real stars glitter. Kusal Pereira back at the top of the order, 58 of 38, set them on their way along with Dhananjay De Silva. But then, the finish came, the flurry. Angelo Matthews, even though he didn't run as well as he could or fast as he could, he struck him well. And Chandimal, he's in a different zone at the moment. 182 for 6. It's a big, big score. Amir Sohail, what about the bowlers? Plenty of them used.
Yeah, the pick, Vimukti. Bowled with a lot of guile. Tossed the ball in the air, got the ball gripping on the surface, turned it miles, picked up 3 wickets, and the other bowlers struggled. But the choices made by the captain at crucial times were not that great.
Well, an early wicket fell. Ashan Priyanjan. Again, a change in the opening combination. Dhananjay De Silva came in and was streaky, but in between played some wonderful shots. The ball evading the fielders on many occasions. But he was a treat, wasn't he? Treat to watch. H.D. Ekman also joins us.
Yeah, Pereira played beautifully. It was opportunity for Dhananjay De Silva. I thought his innings was a mixed bag, Dhananjay De Silva. He played some good shots, but then he played some streaky ones, and some of his decisions were questionable. Pereira, well, he needed some form, and he found some. He looked as though he played the situation better than most, and richly deserved his half century.
It's been a while since
Kusal Pereira struck the ball like that. De Silva went. Vimukti, as Amir mentioned, was the standout. Tom Banton, he'll regret that. Soul down the river when he needed some runs himself. Kusal. That shot brought up his half century.
Yeah, looked very relaxed after his 50 before he found the fielder. Long hop, not the first time we saw Colum Bagay picking up a wicket with this delivery. He bowled amazingly well. Amazingly well.
Chandimal has really been in some wonderful form. Matthews eventually made his way to the wicket after this dismissal of Chemo Paul, and together they showed their experience. And Matthews played well in his opening game back from an injury which he's still nursing. But I do think that Dinesh Chandimal has been the best player on show in this entire LPL. The way that he's played every single situation with the professionalism that he's shown.
And not that he didn't attack the situation. Every time he came out to bat, stayed very positive. He was looking for runs all the times, not necessarily fours, but he played with control, aggression, and produced quality innings in this LPL.
Kenan Lewis and Minod Banuk opening the batting. They have a mountain to climb because it's 182. It is a big score. And if they are to get anywhere near that, Kenan Lewis needs to contribute and contribute at a rate.
Well, he's not going to nudge and hurdle at Kenan Lewis. He's shown in the 2 occasions where he's managed to get some runs that he's happy to swing and miss. But when he does connect, he scores at a decent rate. You can't help thinking that that's the way he's going to go about it. Yeah, he's been given the license to clear the boundary.
And he played well against the same opposition in the previous outing. Whaled the bat, hit quite a few sixes, got his team off to a good start. Same as needed.
Won't carry to the field. The first runs for the Warriors and Lewis. Jeffrey Van der Sey, leg spinner, bowls wrong, and Angelo Matthews going to him because they also recognize that you need to see the back of Lewis, and he doesn't pick the leg spin. That's what we've seen. Ball sliding on a little bit more than during the day. There was rain. Oh, he gets away with that. Sure, he didn't flick the tie pad. I'm sure he didn't. Just runs to Bhanuka. Get Lewis on strike.
Why Sri Lanka is not opening the innings? The lead of this should start. Sri Lanka has the ability to go after the bowlers, pick up boundaries and sixes. Stranger things we have seen in this LPL.
Oh boy, that's why you need to get him on strike. Geez, that's 200 meters for sure. Upper tier.
Muscled it. Using every muscle in his body to clear everything. Second tier. 113 meters. Wow. Humongous.
It's the length. You can't afford to get the ball up to the bat. I know they're looking for turn because there's a catcher in place, but as soon as you get the ball up to the bat, he's going to murder you. If you're going to err, you want to err on the short side to Keanu Lewis.
Right up there, Keanu Lewis, 113 meters. Can he beat that? Slightly shorter, goes past the bat, and he was also straighter.
And this is the trajectory he should be looking to ball. Slightly stuck on the cue. Was lucky, was able to keep the balance. Keanu Lewis.
Swing and a miss to end the first over, 8 for no loss. Sri Lanka not opening today, Ravi Bopara. They have to score a little quicker because they have a big score to chase down. Kandy Warriors missing Binura Fernando in the field. He was setting the tone for them. The two seamers who played, Ahmed Shiraz and Al-Amin Hossain, in 6 overs went for 87. Ouch. They are your main bowlers. I feel for the captain. Dusmantha Chameera is someone you can trust though, with his extra pace. Most wickets for a seamer in this LPL. A slip awaits. 4 runs. Probably that's what Minod Bhanuka's been told as well. Swing for the hills.
Oh, it's fortunate. Fine leg up in the circle. These things happen, particularly in a big run chase where the opposition feel they need to go hard in these first 6 overs.
This is not the game for the purist. This is not. Even an inside edge is a very good stroke, considered by many.
Who looks better? Who looks better? Straight to the fielder, put down. Naveen ul Haq. Geez, he did well to save his face. That was fast.
Didn't have to go for an inch. But the reaction time was too small. Yeah. We could relate to that reaction from the bowler.
Use the pace, Minod Bhanuka. That was hard to catch. Deep square leg and the deep third man for Keanu Lewis. This should be interesting, this battle from the Express Chameera. Right in the block hole.
We saw Wyatt Rios do that in the first game. When he bowled seam up, he looked for the block hole, and then when he changed the pace, he bowled it short and into the pitch.
And the ball tailed in.
I think this takes him by surprise. I think he's in short fine leg and he feels, well, this is just a token position really, and gets caught out.
Yorker followed by a quick bouncer. That's probably the quickest he's bowled in these slow conditions. Getting it through Chameera.
Yeah, he's right. What happened through tough conditions? Chameera generating a lot of pace already into his first over. 4 deliveries he has bowled, and we have seen a bouncer, a good yorker.
And a full toss, too quick, McKenna. But he's charging in, I like that. The aggression from Shamira. That's when he's good. That's when he's at his best.
Yeah, maybe what it requires from the seamers is not to overthink things. We saw the Kandy Warriors seamers trying to bowl all sorts of different deliveries, and maybe what it requires is some good old-fashioned fast bowling. Yorker or whack a few in. Maybe you surrender the odd boundary, but maybe not overthink it.
Great crowd in here. They're all into it. Supporting every shot, every wicket. 6 off the Shamira over. It's 14 for no loss. Qualifiers have been decided. December 19th it is, down in Hambantota. Jaffna Kings versus Galle Gladiators. The winner here will play the Dambulla Giants. With wings, the Colombo Stars, they had wings like the Red Bulls, and there is a bit of heated conversation. Heated is the wrong word. Been chatting for quite a while. Mentioning the crowd, 9,800 people in here. 50% is 12,000. It's almost full, 50% allowed. That's what it is. It's really good down there. Absorbing that atmosphere, the noise. Oh, that's drop kicked. Too easy. He's just picked that up and put it over the fence.
And he didn't win that. Sip went over the boundary line. Man has power. Bat rotating in his hands.
Goes again, there's no one there, there's no one in the deep. Back-to-back sixes for Kenna Lewis.
That boundary is 63 metres out there. That shot went 63 metres and 30 centimetres. You only have to hit it over the boundary to get the maximum. He hit some big ones. He's got them off to the fire they were looking for.
50 metres shorter than his previous. And he gets the same result though. Long off, long on. In the first 6 overs, just the 2 fielders allowed outside. That's just a reminder. The slip stays. Flat, long off weight, it's Banton. Oh, he's put it down. Tom Banton.
They need some like Kandy Warriors in this game to chase down a big total on this pitch of 182. And once again, it took the aided route. Placement wasn't there. That was good judge at well. In the end, pumped it up.
That sliced. Angelo Matthews trying to get underneath it. Hands on. Well judged. He did well to move, Matthews.
Big thing here. We know Angelo Matthews got a safe pair of hands, but was he going to be able to backpedal quick enough with that injury to his quad?
Yeah, when you're in that mood, you'll hit some and you're going to miss some. But Angelo Matthews, yes, he has an injury, but kept his eyes on the ball, backpedal, and a good catch. 21. The Warriors 28-1.
Ravi Bopara is in. He'll need all that experience to guide this team home. 155 required out of 104 balls. He's at the non-strikers and at the moment. Geez, I was impressed with Angelo Matthews. He moved freely when needed. You tend to forget. You tend to forget any restrictions you have when you're engrossed in the game.
The line from Van der Says, outside off stump, he makes Lewis go and fetch it and he slices across it, and it's a good catch by the captain.
Angelo looked fitter. That's in the air. It should be taken and taken. 2 and 2.
Chandimal hangs on to it. Both openers back in the hut. We got the feeling that they'll go after Van der Sar. He's held his nerve. He's kept tossing it up. This one going the other way. Vinod Bhanukar not making it. Ended up dragging it from outside off stump. The Stars celebrate as Vinod Bhanukar walks back. And the Warriors are 2 down for 28. Bhanukar made 6. Very loud here in Colombo, the crowd well into it. So good to have them back. Cheers Charita Salanka, today in at number 4.
He doesn't need gloves. Gloves, Dinesh Chandimal. He's kept wicket in the early part of the competition, now finds himself in the outfield. Jack of all trades. And I'll tell you what, he's a master of some.
Dusmantha Chameera gets a break. Dhananjay De Silva. So spin from both ends. Fantastic shots. Great colors, great noise, especially when the Papre bands are blaring. They know to enjoy their cricket. And everyone's pleased that cricket's back. Yeah, and mind you, we double vaccinated persons are allowed in the stadium.
Now this move has a potential. Left-hander. Charita Salaka young at the crease. Looking for quick runs. Ball turning away. Can pose few problems. He's off the mark.
The required rate over 9. Now, Ravi Bopara has walked in for the Kandy Warriors a couple of occasions where the run rate's been around 5, 6, and he's shown the nous to be able to get his team over the line. He's going to have to show a different quality here this evening, with that required rate being at 9.
Rather than spin, just like Ashan Priyanjan, he'll use the seam and try to get it to move around, wobble around in the air. And the batting to come, there's no power. There's no Rahman power with there in the initial part of the competition. And hence, if that rate gets above 10, it's going to be a struggle. Yes, Ravi Bopara down on one knee, making a statement.
Yeah, he's the man for all the occasions. Ravi Bopara, his experience, he's got the ability to handle any situation. This innings, he needs to show hard skills, and he's willing to do that. He's looking for boundaries. Good to see.
Matthews plugs that gap straight away. Off the De Silva over 37 for 2, the Warriors.
Great to see. Coming out to back their heroes, back their favorite players.
Two overs of power play remaining. They'll have to capitalize on it. Required rate around 9. Blowing a trumpet. Can't call it a horn.
Don't bring that whole thing again.
Sikuge Prasanna. Well, we can relate him to a hippo, isn't it? In Afrikaans, hippo is Siku. This is the first over from Van der Seyk. Couple of sixes. This was the second over actually. Banton put him down. And then Angelo Matthews took a smart catch. Van der Seyk's second over it was. Vinod Bhanukar towards the end of that over. So 2 wickets after conceding quite a few runs, Jeffrey Van der Seyk. That's why the celebration. Siku in Afrikaans means hippo.
With you, I'm learning every day. Russell, good delivery that.
I learn lots of new things too. Enjoy my time with Roshan because he's very happy to share his knowledge.
Yeah, he's very experienced. He has dealt with so many things in his life. And the experiences teach you so much.
Prasanna didn't play yesterday, he was injured. He's back in and looking like there's nothing restricting him, which is good for the Colombo Stars.
Down the ground he goes. He's hit it over. Ravi Bopara, he gets an opportunity. He's not holding back.
Just the length, and it's all a little bit full. Still takes hitting. Great cricket shot, isn't it? Just a full swing of the arms, mid on up in the circle, straight back over the umpire's head. Bopara.
This time it'll be four. Nicely hit, straight down the ground.
50 up. Prasanna changed the line of that occasion. But good footwork and awareness of where the gaps are. Just shutting the face of the bat at the last moment to get that placement over the head of the bowler. Excellent batting from Ravi Bopara.
At this stage, the Stars were 44 for 1. Little flatter, he's asking. No support from the umpire or his mate. It's 50 for 2 after 5. For 2, Kandy has a mountain to climb here. 133 of 90 balls. It's not impossible. But we've seen how this surface is played. The Kandy batting has been really fired. It's revolved a lot around Ravi Bopara and to a point under around Asalanka. Now this pair of batsmen are together at the moment, so that's why this partnership will be absolutely vital. What's that? What's going on? He looks to be in a trance, to be honestly. That's the only way I could describe his dance or his dance move. Here's Naveed. Naveed Haq. Takes a lot of pace off the ball. You'll see that regularly. He's a clever operator. Darren, you reckon that's the way to go on this surface? Pace off the ball?
Indeed. Again, it's about thinking on your feet, assessing as you go. Sometimes batsmen set themselves for slower delivery, so you can't just use that option of taking pace off the ball. Still got to keep at the back of your mind how successful bowlers bowling pace on deliveries, full and Yorkers have worked for them in terms of wicket taking.
That's a good mix. It's a good change up. That was quicker. Just talking about pace, I think the fast bowling department of the Warriors, to me, was absolutely disappointing. I mean, the way the fields were set, the way the execution happened, I couldn't believe that some of the deliveries, particularly bowled by like Shiraz and Al-Amin, that no ball full toss with two fieldsmen inside the inside the 30-yard circle. Then that last over with the field set, the lines that were bowled, that was amazing. I just couldn't believe it. I can't believe that experienced bowlers, people who have played this game, could kind of falter. And imagine the price the Warriors had to pay because of that. Right, Ravi Bopara on strike. Nicely done. Nicely done. One bounce. Short and wide with a pace on the ball. He's utilizing those field restrictions quite well, Ravi Bopara.
It's good batting by Ravi Bopara. Not much was coming into the batsman. And this time going back of the length and having a deep square leg and a fine leg. And be really critical. It's just a little too much towards the off-slump line. Pays the price. Ravi Bopara has been in super form. We saw in the last over against Silvio Prasanna. A couple of strokes he scored. This time, awareness to go over short third man.
Third man goes out, fine leg comes in. till the line of attack will be outside the off stump. 5 on the off. Oh, he wants a single, could have been trouble.
That's a good comeback from Naveen ul Haq. Roshan, just on that point of fast bowlers, we've looked at quite a few throughout this tournament. The one who has most impressed me is Dushmantan Chameera, and how he's adjusted from the start of the tournament to now, the back end. 12 wickets to him so far. He just has moved from bowling pace-on deliveries to changing his pace and his lengths, and there's a method now to his approach bowling in these conditions.
At this stage, he's 3 runs behind. That's away on the onside. A single, maximizing. Well, it's a partner leading a proud brand of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's #1 exported, as we told you, to over 65 countries. And been loved by all and sundry. And certainly loved by us in the commentary box. Archie Comey has been a hit, go-to, as far as we are concerned, as a snack.
That's a point coming up and Long dropping back to Long on.
Last ball of the over. 7 runs off the over. The power play is done and dusted. The Warriors have got 57 for 2.
Surprisingly coming at number 4. As far as I'm concerned, Roshan, something to speak about. And Angelo Matthews marshalling his troops, the fast bowlers, spinners in tandem.
Yeah, so far the focal point for me in this game has been, as you said, Sri Lanka batting at 4. That's a bit of a surprise. And of course the fast bowling of the Kandy Warriors, Maha. Those are the 2 points that had my eyebrows raised. Chameera's back. He's just bowled solitary over for 5 runs. Darren Ganga spoke about the way he's adapted, he's adjusted, gone from extreme to change-ups.
Had a good first over, just conceded 5 runs in his first over. Here is it. Here for his second.
Runs here to backward square leg off the inside edge. They'll come back for 2. Yeah, just it's done.
Yeah, I spoke about the first couple of matches that Chameera played and what he did as a fast bowler. He was still trying to understand the conditions. Used a lot of pace-on deliveries, yellow deliveries. Below 130, very few, more above 130. And that's his first 3 matches in LPL 2021. Take a look at what the adjustment is. Many more deliveries below that 130 km/h. That's fantastic in terms of adaptation to the conditions.
Yeah, that's right. He's experimented. Clearly, he's now a really matured fast bowler who knows how to handle situations. He's been under a bit of stress in some of the games, but he's recovered quickly.
I had a chat with him a few days back, Darren. He mentioned about the lengths and the lines, and mentioned against Tisara Perera when he got hammered. He said he got a bit carried away and panicked. And this time after that, he worked out the lengths and the lines with the fast bowling coach Akotona Ramanayaka, and they had a plan to go up with. I think that's where Dushman Chameera, the start to now, has been a huge difference. And that's the hallmark of a good player, knowing the mistake and coming out and delivering under pressure when the team needs you. Just goes to show mental status of this person.
Nicely driven. Only a single.
Just to build on that point, you also need to apply the skills that you have. Sometimes bowling fast is not the right option in conditions. You may have that skill to bowl 140 plus, but it's not required. And that is exactly what Dushmantha Chameera has shown us. And he's able to park that aside and to do exactly what the conditions require. Take his variations out, lots of cutters, take pace off the ball. He's been very successful in terms of wicket taking for this Colombo Stars. 12 wickets so far and counting.
Oh, that was not intentional. I don't think it was. It rushed onto him. He was very lucky. That was very nearly 150. He bent his back. That went quickly.
Isn't it good to see a fast bowler bending his back and the wicketkeeper flying all over? The batsman had no clue. Crossed the seamer this time, zipping it through. And Dushmantha Chameera, #1 bowler for the Stars as well as for Sri Lanka with the white ball. He's letting it go, giving his 200% for the Stars.
Clever. He's mixing it up. That's what Darren Ganga was talking about the maturity, about